Welcome to the second installment of our gardening segment. Today we are going to be planting some more vegetables. I planted these back in March, but I've just now gone around to editing this video for you. So if it is past the time when you could start seedlings, I'd recommend going ahead and getting the small things you can get from a nursery that's already done the seedlings. However, if you live in a colder climate like me, now is actually a perfect time to start seedlings indoors. So you can see me first using egg cartons here, and I choose to germinate in egg cartons because there's something I already have. I don't have to go out and buy something new. And another thing that I really like about them is that when the plants are ready, you can cut the egg carton up and plant the carton directly in the soil, and it'll just break down with the roots over time, so you don't have to worry about wasting plastic. And there are just a lot of other things that are good for plants that don't do well with transplant shock. This helps them out a lot too. If you don't want to use egg cartons, you can use solo cups. Those work really well. I've used them in the past, and all you'd have to do for that is punch holes in the bottom of a solo cup, place it in a different solo cup, put your soil in, put your seeds in, and that works super well too. And of course you can go for things like you can buy in the store that also work to start seedlings as well. So I choose to start my plants indoors because I live in a zone 4 hardiness zone, which basically means it's freaking cold all the time here. Our growing season typically lasts from Memorial Day, so the end of May, to the end of September. So it's a pretty short season, and so when I start indoors, that helps me to actually get a good yield on my plants. But as I said before, you can also go to a nursery and pick up plants and transplant them, and that should work too. And if you grow plants in a hotter climate, then you might have to completely reverse what you're doing. So I know some people, like in Arizona or just really hot climates, they actually plant food crops in the winter time because the temperatures are actually more reasonable there for certain plants. So just check out your hardiness zones, really look into it. It might be something worth checking out. And then something else that I find very valuable is having a gardening plan. So it's kind of hard to see, but basically I've just planned out what containers I have, where my crops are going to be going, etc. And I just know exactly what I want to do with them and where I'm going to put them on my balcony. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I'm planting. So I'm planting cilantro, parsley, and basil. As I said in the first gardening segment, I've planted all of these, but I had a low germination rate. So I'm trying that again, and we're gonna see how that goes. And then I have cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, marigolds, eggplants. So I wanted to do cucumbers. I really love pickling things. I love fresh cucumbers, but I just don't feel like I eat them fast enough when I buy them. So I love to get the plant, and then I can just pick them the day I want to eat them, and then the rest are cool to just hang out, and it's wonderful. And then lettuce can be expensive, and sometimes I also don't eat lettuce fast enough. And lettuce is wonderful because you can just pick the leaves off that you need for a recipe off of the plant, and the plant will keep growing. You don't have to even harvest the whole thing. And you can harvest the lettuce at multiple stages. So you can harvest microgreens up to whole heads if that's what you want. Tomatoes, they're just an obvious garden staple. Even for people like me who don't like tomatoes, they're wonderful to cook with. It's wonderful to have them on hand. I'm planting marigolds for 2 reasons. So the first reason is marigolds can help control pest populations. A lot of pests don't like them, so marigolds can help repel them. And marigolds are actually edible. They're beautiful, they smell good and fragrant, so I just really love marigolds. I think they're beautiful. And I'm also planting an eggplant. This is my first time doing eggplant, so we'll see how that goes. And then I'm also planting bush beans. Now bush beans, they don't love being transplanted, and this is where planting in egg cartons, or I have this weird like cardboard thing from the portable unit that I bought. And I'm planting my bush beans in that. And once again, that's something you can cut and then plant with the cardboard, and the cardboard is going to dissolve over time, making the transplant less dramatic for the beans, but also making it so that you can start it indoors rather than waiting forever. Let's talk a little bit about where I get my seeds. So I actually spend a lot of time at the end of a harvest preparing seeds for next year. So I wash them or rinse them, and then I let them dry out completely, and then I usually bag them and save them for the next year. Things to keep in mind when you're saving seeds is that when you are doing an open pollination, which is what is happening when you have a garden, the certain varieties might change a little bit from year to year, and you could end up getting a drastically different plant in 10 years from now. I'm not saying a bean is going to turn into a tomato, but you might start with a bush bean and it could cross-pollinate with a plant that is more of a vining type, and then your bean could kind of become a weird hybrid. So that's something to keep in mind with saving seeds. But other than that, I also buy seeds from pretty much anywhere. If I see a good deal on seeds, I'll buy them. I have purchased seeds from the Dollar Tree and they work fine. I've heard people are like, never buy Dollar Tree seeds, but honestly, I've had pretty good luck with Dollar Tree seeds. There's a really, really awesome place down in Utah. So I live in Idaho, and sometimes we go to Utah, called Anderson's, and they have any seed you can think of there. So if you're in the Logan, Utah area, check that out. That is amazing. It's so cool. So yeah, you can buy things from specialty places. You can probably find seeds. I even see them at my local grocery store. Of course, you could find them at Walmart. So there are lots of options for buying seeds, and I really haven't had any bad luck with seeds as of yet. I've also gotten some seeds from Amazon, and those work really good. I have non-GMO seeds from Amazon. I got this like survival garden package, and they're amazing. First of all, the germination rates are wonderful on them, and then also they just work really, really well. So that's something to keep in mind too if you want to just order your seeds off Amazon. So the next thing we're going to talk about is kitchen scraps. So I've seen lots of videos talking about growing food from kitchen scraps, and I'll tell you, I've only had good luck with one kitchen scrap. Well, 1.5. So I actually started my celery in this video. You'll see my celery. That started from kitchen scraps. I put it in a bowl with some water, and I let the bottom of the celery grow some roots, and then I transplanted it. And it was doing great when it was just in the water, but once I transplanted it, it suffered some pretty bad transplant shock. It totally died off, and then it started coming back and died again. So one thing I had a lot of success with, just so much success, these are green onions, and they are so easy to bring back, and they just thrive. You know, you can keep them in just water and they thrive. You could plant them, they thrive. And something really nice about green onions is when you plant them from seeds, it takes like 100 days for them to be mature and ready to harvest. But when you take them from the grocery store and cut them down, put them in water, wait till roots grow and plant them, or even just keep them in water, they will just keep coming back, and you can just cut them and cut them and cut them, and they'll just keep coming back. So water the plants in, and then I place my egg cartons on a tray. As you can see, it kind of leaks if you water it too heavily, so just put it on a tray so that way the water can drain onto something and not ruin your countertops. So I am so excited. We've got several little plants sprouting here. Our potatoes are still doing wonderfully. And then in here we've got little sprouts there, you can see them. And I've got a bean seed just hanging out. I'm waiting for it to finally like completely pop up through the soil, but anyway, we've got, see that? That's probably a bean. It looks like a bean plant. I wrote kale here, so I must have mixed up my kale and beans. Anyways, my eggplant's still not coming up though, so I'm kind of sad about that. I'm hoping it'll still come up, but we'll see. Anyways, but yeah, we've got some really good sprouts here. Very excited. We've got some marigold sprouts as well. We've got 2 of them. I'm really hoping oh, we got 3. Look at that. Yay. It's just not fully emerged from the seed. You can see the seed on top still. Don't force it, you know, let it stay there and chill out. None of our wildflowers have come up yet, but that's okay. We might have something coming up there, but we'll just see in the next few days. But I'm very excited, and it'll be very fun to watch these plants grow this summer.